Us TV broadcasting live here in Underworld. We're talking to Mr. Steele, who has a program to stop the violence in our communities. First, can you say your name and the name of your program?
My name is Lorenzo Steele, Jr., former New York City Department of Correction Officer. I have a program where I call the Future Leaders. Basically what I do is, as a correction officer, I have the insight, the experience, and knowledge about what really takes place in prison. What's going on now in these streets and throughout the communities throughout America. You have adolescents and adults that are doing negative things without knowing the consequences of what really takes place in prison. So with this program, I give the visual images to all the data and the statistics that, other groups and agencies have dealing with crime and violence.
Now, Mr. Steele, we had a conversation a little bit earlier, which I thought was absolutely crazy, that the numbers from the reading scores in second and third grade is actually how they use that information on how to build as many prisons as possible. Could you talk about that really briefly?
Yes, they do. A lot of people don't realize this. I was talking to a principal today that wanted my program in her school, and I was explaining to her that the prison industrial complex determines how many prison cells to build is based in fact on the reading scores from second, third, and fourth grade. I'm going to share with you like this. If a child isn't reading on level, there's going to be a time where he's going to eventually get left back because he cannot perform at that grade level. So imagine getting left back 2 or 3 times, which a lot of children in these inner cities are getting left back. Now imagine a child that is getting tired of being the biggest kid in the classroom, and depending on what type of community that he lives in, a lot of people in this community may have dropped out of school, and now that child is now on the streets without a high school diploma, without a GED, and the only type of things that he could do now on the streets is to sell drugs. And once you start selling those drugs, the consequences are something that you'll never be able to take back. I know many fellas that I hang out with that have felons that cannot get a decent, good paying job because of things that they did while they was adolescents that constituted a felony.
Okay, that's really important information to know. So again, we want to thank you for that, Mr. Steele. Now, I understand that you have something extremely exciting coming up, a fantastic program that here at Us TV we are promoting called Stop the Violence. I understand there's the soundtrack involved, Linden Boulevard, a guy named Drift. Just give us a little bit of that. Give us a little bit of that information.
Well, after I left corrections in '99, I started going into schools, mentoring to children. In about 7 or 8 years, I've mentored over 40,000 students throughout New York City. I've traveled outside to Maryland, North Carolina, Florida. I actually even went up to New Hampshire and spoke at a men's detention up there. Going into these schools, listening to what the children have to say. These children don't know what goes on in prison. As a correction officer, I share that information with them with visual images. So I came up with an idea one day. I said, you know what, I'm going to launch a Stop the Violence tour where we're going to go into the schools, we're going to go into the churches, we're going to go into the communities and give the students, give the parents the after effects of breaking the law and crime, which is incarceration, which has lifelong consequences. So you're hearing it right now. We talked about this about 20 minutes ago. We are launching a Stop the Violence tour. Nowhere on this planet is anybody doing anything at this level or this magnitude. You're going to hear about it. You want to be a part of it, you can get in touch with us, but it's going to be phenomenal. You're going to have tens and thousands of kids that are going to be provided with this information that's going to have to make up a choice. Say, you know what? I can't go to jail. I didn't know jail was like that. I didn't know that, the rappers that are rapping about jail are not telling us about the rapes, about the cuttings, about the stabbings that take place every day once you become incarcerated. And like I said before, the lifelong effects of incarceration. This is the message that's going to get out. You heard it right here from the underground. Beware. Listen out. We got soundtrack. We got a video team. We got information. Get ready to pump it out to the communities throughout America.
That is absolutely fantastic. Again, Mr. Steele, thank you for your time. I also wanted to ask you, which we ask everyone here on Us TV, if you could look into that camera right now and you could speak to Barack, you know, we really try and support open communication. We think it's vital to helping our community. What would you say to him?
Oof. First of all, I like to say I'm gonna go back to the night where during election time it was something powerful. You know, I was in Brownsville, Brooklyn, and it was quiet in Brownsville. Waiting for the results, and when he became the president, man, the only thing I could think about was the slaves. You know, I thought about, wow, if the slaves was alive, nowhere in their DNA would they ever imagine that a black man would be a president. So I definitely want to thank him. I like to congratulate him. And Mr. President, I need 30 minutes of your time to show you about this program that's going to save thousands and thousands of black, white, Hispanic children. It's going to keep them out of this prison industrial complex. I want to commend you again, Mr. President. I just need 30 minutes of your time. Thank you very much.
And please, Mr. President, give him those 30 minutes. Now, we also have another question that we ask, and everyone has their own little answer. I'd like to ask and pose this question to you, Mr. Steele. Is it better to be feared or loved?
Is it better to be feared or loved? I'd rather be loved. You know, fear, with fear over your shoulders, you gotta watch your back, you gotta watch your friends, you gotta watch your car. I'd rather be loved. You know, even in the Bible it talks all about love. And love got me to this level that I'm at right now. So that's it, I'm going with love.
I respect that answer. Again, we want to thank you for your time, Mr. Steele.
Appreciate it.
Us TV, broadcasting live, Linden Boulevard, Underworld Entertainment.
Stop the Violence tour, it's coming. It's coming.
Look out for it.